and welcome to TheraTay. My name is Katie, and I'm with my co-host Ashley, and we are not therapy, but we are a good time. We're two therapists who want to jump into the mental health themes on the Life of a Showgirl album by Taylor Swift, and today we are exploring the theme of friendship, as we note on the next four songs: Ruin the Friendship, Actually Romantic, Cancelled, and Eldest Daughter. I'll provide a quick overview of the themes of each of those songs, and then Ashley, I'd love for you to dive in with the song Ruin the Friendship, with the themes that you see around friendship in that song, and what your thoughts are on particular lyrics. Um,
Sounds good.
so, the overview of Ruin the Friendship is: I should have taken a chance to turn a friendship into a dating relationship. I played it safe, and something good could have been great if I had been willing to take a risk. Actually Romantic is kind of framed from the perspective of learning to reframe my haters so that I don't take things personally. I've embraced that any attention is good attention, and I don't take your hate seriously. Basically, we aren't friends, and I'm super okay with that. In the song Cancelled, I'm not seeking friends because they are popular. I want real people who survived hard things. Our scars are not a liability, they are what bond us. And in the song Eldest Daughter, it's summarized by: I have become tough to survive difficult circumstances, but now I'm learning how to be soft, safe, and authentic.
So sweet.
All right. Ruin the Friendship. What are your thoughts, Ashley? Let's jump in.
Yeah, so I kind of categorized each of my lyrics into the mental health theme that I was seeing in it. So for Ruin the Friendship, the lyric that I pulled was staying friends is safe, doesn't mean you should. When I left school, I lost track of you. Abigail called me with the bad news. Goodbye, and we'll never know why.
Mhm.
It's like the most heart-wrenching part of the song.
Yeah.
And um I noted this theme of like grief and regret for this song.
Hmm.
Um, and I think, at least for me, when I was kind of picturing my adult life growing up, I thought, okay, if I can have like a healthy marriage, like I'll feel all the feelings in my marriage, I'll feel all the, sadness, whatever conflict and get through it. And then friendships are just fun.
Ah, sad. We do not have conflict in friendships. That's just a marriage thing.
And I was wrong. I was very wrong about that.
So sad.
So sad. If only it worked that way. And I think, I mean, this song in particular isn't about conflict, but I say that because it involves like those same feelings of regret and grief, right? You can grieve the loss of a friendship even if that person didn't pass away. You can grieve aspects of a friendship that used to be there that aren't, right? Like I have a very close friend from high school. We used to see each other every day, and now we live states away from each other. That's a point of grief, that we're not around each other anymore. But we find other ways to stay connected. It's just that our friendship has changed significantly. So, um, those are kind of the themes that I saw with that lyric specifically. And then I also loved this part because it includes a third friend, which is Abigail. And just the thought of like something really big is happening. You're the person that I'm going to call and update you. I'm going to talk to you about how I feel. I think there's a closeness there that is really important in friendship too.
Yeah, yeah. So you're really kind of highlighting how, like, in this song, it's the loss of a friend and like the ultimate way, like that person passing away. But there can be like a lot of loss just in how a relationship evolves over time, and then again, like how other friends play a role in that friendship. I think that's really true. And I honestly would say that I don't know about for your therapeutic experience, but like I have a lot of clients talk about friend situations. Like that is a
Hmm.
common thing that comes up. And I always validate that for clients because I'm like, there are all kinds of books and resources and podcasts that highlight, marriage relationships and parenting relationships and family relationships, but there's not a ton about how to be a good friend. Like, and
Yeah.
some, and there's a few podcasts that I like recommend to people and a few books I like to highlight, but like it is not a big category, and it should be because friends are really that chosen family. And it's a a really special experience that I think needs a lot more attention than what we give it because there's a lot of grief in how friendships change or in the loss of that friendship. So I love what you highlighted there, Ashley.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so true, Katie.
Is there any last notes on Ruin the Friendship that you'd like to highlight?
Nope.
Actually, romantic. This is such a fun song. It's full of spicy feelings. I'm really excited to hear what you're going to say, Ashley.
So the theme that I pulled for this one is resentment.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
The lyric that I found this in, high five to my ex, then you said you're glad he ghosted me. And okay, first of all, her voice when she sings he ghosted me,
Uh-huh.
I go back to that like I don't know, part of the song, part of the album so often. Like, I'm not actually a huge fan of this song as
Mhm.
a whole, but like, I love how she sings that. That was a side note. Um,
More side notes.
the, sorry.
More side notes, please.
The resentment part, I think it's really easy to kind of pinpoint like one small thing about a person sometimes and be like, we hate them because of that, right? Like we just hate them. And I think that that's not a very healthy way to engage
Okay.
in the world
Wait, where do you like help me understand how you got there?
with this lyric or in general.
Yes. Yes to both of those.
Okay. So I think in general, it can be really easy to write people off when we first meet them. A first impression, a type of car that they drive, a political view, and just kind of say like, yeah, I'm just not even interested. Or in another situation, like if you're friends with somebody and they maybe do you wrong or they like make a mistake that feels unforgivable,
Hmm.
um, having no repair and then just being like, okay, we're done, cutting you off. And then the idea of this lyric saying, high-fiving my ex and saying that you're glad that he ghosted me, like there's a lot of resentment in that sentence, right? Like, she didn't deserve you. I'm glad that you ghosted her. Like, she deserved being ghosted.
Wait, so you feel like the subject of the song is the one with resentment?
I think they both have resentment, but if I look at this lyric specifically, that's where I'm pulling the resentment.
Okay, from the subject of the song.
I think from both. I don't think you high five somebody for ghosting somebody else if there's not resentment. I could be wrong.
Okay, okay.
What's happening for you, Katie? Your wheels are turning and I want to
They
know what's
are,
going
they
on.
are. I don't think I have the same perspective as you here.
What's your perspective?
I don't feel like Taylor's resentful at all, actually. And I don't necessarily like maybe the person who the song is about, which is unconfirmed, we don't actually know 100%. Um, that person sounds more insecure to me than resentful.
I'm sure there's insecurity there.
Yeah, like I don't like, and there could be resentment as well. Like I'm totally not ruling that out, but that's probably like not where my mind goes first. It's more just like insecurity, like kind of like Mean Girl vibes is really what I get, more so than like resentful. But
Like kind of manipulation, or what do you mean by that?
um, I think like this person, potentially is feeling like insecure about themselves, or there's something about Taylor that they don't like that like really pulls out an insecurity in their own life. Maybe it's pulling on threads of shame, like I'm not enough in some way. And so then I'm going to band together with other people who like are no longer in a relationship with Taylor, who don't like her anymore, like an ex, and then like we're going to bond over our dislike of this person, right? And maybe
Mm-hmm.
reasons, right? Because an ex is a dating relationship and like, or at least that's the implication. It may not be, it could be an ex-friend, but like there's kind of this dynamic there of like, I don't know, I just see it differently.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm picturing like in a situation where you're going to tell somebody that you're glad that they ghosted somebody else.
Hmm.
there's a lot of feelings there. Whatever that feeling is,
Yeah.
you don't just do that.
Right, right. Especially because like you're glad they ghosted me. Like it's not like I'm glad you broke up, that you're no longer in a relationship, but like ghosting is like kind of a terrible way to like end things with somebody. It's a very
Kind
hurt.
of like a type of wishing harm.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm glad that like you left her in like that very cruel, unresolved, unkind way. Like it's not a kind wish at all.
Yeah, and maybe resentment's not necessarily the right word without additional context, but I think I hear anger in that.
Oh yeah. 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 I think there's some anger there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, like they say, anger can be like this emotion that follows deeper emotions, right? So like fear, insecurity, things like that. So yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
that's what I had.
Yeah. I'm excited to get into this song because I really love the song so much. But Canceled, let's talk about what you drew from that song.
Yeah, so the lyric I pulled for this one is at least you know exactly who your friends are. They're the ones with matching scars. And the theme that I had for that is connecting through pain. I think it's easier to connect with people when you have similar pasts and struggles,
Mhm.
whatever that may look like. And it can be a really bonding thing. And I think that's a really sweet lyric in the midst of a song that is talking about somebody going through a really hard time.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's really just saying that like the thing that like maybe would get us both canceled is actually where we find our commonality. And there's like a lot of loyalty in that as well, of like, I'm not going to walk away from you. Like, you believed me when when I was being accused, that you believed in my innocence, and I'm going to believe that of you as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think that's a core part of why relationships can fall apart or where a lot of hurt can come is in the face of like disloyalty or what feels like disloyalty.
Yeah, yeah.
Eldest daughter.
I pulled a pretty long lyric for this, I'll be honest.
Lay it on me. I'm so ready.
Because I thought that I'd never find that beautiful, beautiful life that shimmers that innocent light back like when we were young.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
And yeah, the theme that I pulled from that is just like this, I said innocence. It's more than that. Like it's a deeper connection through like just like girlhood. It's to me, it's like that's an example of it. It's not just girlhood, but like connection through like just like the sweet things in life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of calling things back to like the simple days of like
Hmm.
simple small joys, like nothing too complicated, but just these small moments that like make up the like the best parts of a friendship. Because like when I think about what you're saying, I guess my mind kind of takes it to like why what makes a friend, right?
Hmm.
It really is the small things. Like, did this person follow up? Did they ask questions? Did they care? Did they, were they there for like the silly moments? Were they there for the hard moments? Like things like that, right? And to me, that there's an innocence and like the simplicity of that, but how profound it is when it comes to shaping our trust in that person.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And she also talks about loyalty in that song too,
Mhm.
um, which I think is really sweet. It's just a really sweet, especially the bridge. It's a really sweet song.
Yes, it is. It is
Yeah.
one of my favorite songs on the album. I really love it.
Really?
Mhm.
Aw, nice.
There's a lot of
Well,
songs
Kate,
on the album, but that's definitely one of them.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear your answers. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Tell me about Ruin the Friendship.
Uh, so what I really liked is the lyric, and my advice is always answer the question. Better than to ask it all your life. And I really love that Taylor is emphasizing the importance of clearing up potential regrets, kind of like what you were saying. I think of all the categories where this could happen, right? Like, what if I broke up with this person? What if I applied for that job? What if I apologized? What if I auditioned? What if I fill in the blank, right? Um, and I think that when she kind of follows this with another lyric later in the song, like it was not an invitation, it was not convenient. Like she repeats that multiple times. And I really like how she's highlighting that like this risk is going to be a problem. Like,
Hmm.
it's going to feel like a problem to you. And I think that this is something that I encounter all the time, like in my own life and certainly with clients. It's whatever desire that you might have, it's often inconvenient. It's going to cost you in some way. And so it's really an invitation. And like, I like that she's giving explicit advice. Like, that Taylor doesn't do that very often. She speaks from her own experience, but she very rarely ever says, like, here's my advice for you. And then that's like exactly what she's giving us in this song. And
Hmm.
like, consider where you're not being given an invitation. Like, where do you need to step forward and create that opportunity for yourself? Or ask for that opportunity. And I think it's really important to explore where effort plays a role, even if it feels costly to you, even if it's inconvenient, because that's where growth is going to happen. Because
Hmm.
let's say she did, seek a relationship with this person and get rejected, you're still going to learn from that. You're still going to grow from it. Like it'll hurt, but it's not anything you won't recover from, right?
Hmm.
And so I think that it's just highlighting vulnerability. I think it's highlighting the mental reasons why we don't do something. But I think that what this song does in a really sobering way is it reminds us like there's limited windows on pursuing your desires. Like we don't like to think about that, but like let's say there's an education you wanted to get, or a job you wanted to pursue, or something you wanted to build or create, and you think, I have all this time to do that. But then something could happen, either a choice that you make, a choice that somebody else makes, and then you don't have that opportunity anymore.
Or time.
Or the time. Yeah.
We just went to Ireland and saw a bunch of like older people kind of trying to hike and like sightsee, which I'm like so happy for them that they get to do that. But my husband and I kind of looked at each other like, I'm so glad we're traveling right now, where we feel like we can confidently hike and not worry. There were people with canes and that kind of thing, which like, hey, good for you guys for
Yeah.
doing that.
I
Absolutely. And
love
I hope at that age I continue to travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just kind of was like, I'm so glad that we didn't wait until that time and had these experiences now too.
Yeah, that we're just going for it. Because, what if there was an illness or a sickness or some kind of disability that might prevent that from the future, or you just have no idea what's coming for you. And so I think this idea of like kicking that can down the road and saying, well, one day, and I think that we can hide our fear under logistics and say there's always logistical reasons why it's not going to work right now. But at the end of the day, if we're being honest, it's about fear. And what I love in therapy is exploring that with clients and like listening to their logistical reasons and saying, yes, I hear that. I'm going to hold this in one hand. And in the other hand, we're going to dive into your fear, like about like what's maybe holding you back. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it really is logistics. I'm not trying to be harsh in that way, but just kind of exploring that with people. So,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. What about actually romantic?
Okay. So the lyric, I mind my business, God's my witness, that I don't provoke it. I think she's being so focused and cheeky and the way that she's swearing that she really doesn't focus on negative feedback. She's keeping her head down. She's doing her own thing. She's not out to stir trouble. She's not out there looking for the negative feedback. Like, and when she did that, like the behind the scenes of Life of a Showgirl, she did the interview about like the songs. So she talked about being a little bit surprised about finding out that somebody like had all this hateful feelings towards her. Like she was like, I had no idea you thought that much about me. Um, and I think there's a lot to be said about that. Like, I think Taylor's a masterclass at using the hate directed at you as a source of inspiration. And I wonder what that could look like in our daily lives. Like, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, Ashley, where somebody's like ranting about a situation and then they end it with like, okay, but like I'm over it. And then internally you're going, are you really?
Yeah,
Like,
you just spent 45 minutes telling me about this situation,
literally,
but you're over
or
it.
like you spend so much time ranting about this and then you're gonna like wrap it up, like shake your hands and be like, I'm over it. I'm like, no, you're definitely not. But instead finding a way to like reframe and create something really cool from that. So in this song, I don't hear that Taylor is saying she's over it. what I do hear her saying is she's reframing it. Like, I think we'll hear people who say that if, someone can't, if people say they can't do something, that like it inspires them to like do that thing, right? Like you say, I can't do this athletic achievement, I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it so well. And I'm going to prove to everybody who said I never could. And I don't actually think that's what she's saying here. I think she's saying, I'm going to take your hate and I'm going to turn it into art and make you confront the reality that you're acting like a fan because you're so obsessed with hating me. And I like really like the idea of like being inspired from that, but not from the perspective of proving you wrong, but like this is inspiration to create art and to make a point that is actually quite clever and it's such a good comeback, but it's not trying to say I'm over it. Like this isn't even bothering me. Although she does say that too, but she's saying like, I'm putting this on a record and it's doing fantastic. Like everyone in the world is listening to this music right now. And like it's just really cool to see that success. And like that's not going to be the case for you and I. We don't put out albums that everybody in the world is going to hear. But like I think every single person has experienced or will experience a critic in their life. Somebody who doesn't believe in them or somebody who maybe dismisses them. Maybe even somebody that they're in relationship with like a family member or a friend or somebody in their community. And how do you kind of reframe what this says about them versus what it means for you. And I think that she is really empowered in her choice to say, I'm going to interpret your criticism, your hostility, as devoted attention, because it is. Even if it's negative, it's still devoted attention to me. And I think that she's making a powerful point that I can't control what you say about me, but I can absolutely control how I'm going to relate to it. And I'm going to relate to it by creating art. I'm not going to relate to it by internalizing it. I'm not going to relate with it by believing it. I'm not going to hurl back, you know, hate in the same way, right? Although she's definitely spicy in the song, like for sure. Like I think you can definitely make that argument that she's, putting some like she's definitely it's a diss track. Like we can all agree on that, I think. But I still think it's showing an empowerment in that choice. So
Hmm.
I
I
think,
do think I agree with everything you just said. I just don't think that that's always consistent for her. I think that some feedback really does get to her, and
mhm.
um, she does tend to create art out of it. But I think, and she's not saying this, but if she were to say, I don't pay attention at all to any feedback,
Oh no, 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 no. Taylor cares about
you are lying.
how could you not, right? Like when you're a public figure, like your your success rises and falls on people's opinions of you,
Hmm.
right? So like even though she's had quite a comeback story, you're not immune to public opinion. But I do feel like she has interacted with that in a way that has sustained her rather than crushed her, which is
Yeah.
worth to me, like that's the masterclass part of like you have found a way to relate to this in a way that has not ended your career, that has not crushed your creativity and your art.
Yeah, I mean, Reputation is a golden example of that for
Oh,
sure.
can I just say again, I am so excited for us to get to like rep like
I know.
number one album I've been like dying to get to, so I'm excited for when we do get there finally.
For sure. Yeah, it'll come. What about Canceled?
I really love the lyric, I salute you if you're much too much to handle.
Okay.
Because I think here she's saying that she finds connection with people who've been criticized in similar ways as herself, right? Kind of like what you were saying, right? And it feels like this is kind of like a clarion call. Like it's just like a big like a signal that's beaming out. Everyone who's been marginalized and accused of being too much, they've said the same thing about me, but like I'm not buying into it. We can find companionship in this. And I really think that's such a hallmark of friendship to be able to say, like, this is what we have in common, even if the thing we have in common is being canceled. Like,
Hmm.
commonality is commonality, like, whatever it may be. Um, and I think that I'm going to tie this actually into another lyric where she talks about, like, you thought it would be okay at first. Like, you thought the situation could be saved. You thought, like, this could be handled, but they'd already picked out your grave and hearse. And I feel like she's adding a validation to people who've been canceled, saying, like, kind of the game was rigged. Um, and she's saying, there was really no chance. Like they were ready to bury you
Hmm.
at the first misstep. Like, but no matter what, I'm here for you. This is a shared identity that we have. This is a friendship test. And I think that in each of our lives, when we have friendships, like we're going to have this moment of like, is this move to multiple states away? Is it going to end our friendship? Like,
Hmm.
if we disagree on politics, if we disagree on, perspectives or a situation, like, how much difference can we have in our friendship and still remain friends, right? And I'm certainly not speaking to that on behalf of anybody. That's a very personal, wherever your decisions and your parameters are, that's yours. But it is a question to like
Hmm.
reconcile with. And I think that, she's really saying that like we might want friendship validation, recognition from certain people, certain places, and you were never going to get it.
Hmm.
Like you had to play by a very specific set of rules perfectly. And nobody's going to do that perfectly. And they were waiting for you to fall. And I think the way
Hmm.
that she's just kind of saying that and just saying, like, that's not real, but this is. Our friendship is real. Like, I think that is very genuine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think those are all really good points. I want to hear about eldest daughter.
So it kind of plays off of the same lyric that you chose, Ashley, but I took it in a slightly different direction.
Okay.
Liz. Things I said were dumb because I thought I'd never find that beautiful, beautiful life that shimmers that innocent light back. And what I love is that confession. I feel like what she's saying here is that I had lost hope for the beautiful life that reflects innocence. And I interpret dumb things like that phrase to kind of represent her negative self talk or negative beliefs that prevent
Hmm.
her from having hope, like hope for that innocent life. And I think that she's making kind of it's like a cheeky way of saying that. Like, I think when we actually narrate our negative beliefs or our hopelessness, our despair out loud, take this for the way I mean it, it can sound a little dramatic, right? Like, I'll never be able to trust someone. I will always be alone. I can't ever change. Things like that. Like, in our head, it feels so true. And then you say that out loud and you're like, at least for me, like, I'll just speak for myself. When I narrate my negative self talk out loud, I'm like, that is dramatic. Like, seriously? And I can kind of play with it a little bit. And I think the song is her saying, I'm coming home to myself, right? I'm being a safe home to myself. Things I
Hmm.
said were dumb. She's confessing who she's made herself out to be and who she actually is. Like, I'm not a bad bitch, right? I'm not a savage. This is who I presented myself to be, but actually there's someone really soft and tender underneath. And I think that's such a hospitality to her own, like, negativity or her own bad experiences. And then she's
Hmm.
making that vow to like another person or maybe a group of people and saying, I'm going to be safe and present for you. Like I'm not going to go back to being that version of myself. Like I'm safe. And to me, like eldest daughter is really the epitome of what it means to heal. Like we don't
Hmm.
heal so that we can go through more hard things, although we will. We heal so that we can be a safe person for ourselves, so we can be an empathetic witness and hospitable to our own suffering. And you're learning how to brace yourself for the softness, for the joy, for the delight that life holds, not for the next bad thing, right? That's the opposite of like that hypervigilance. Instead, looking for the glimmers, the joy, to use, Debbie's term from polyvagal theory, like the glimmers. So I just really love the message of this song.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for sharing your perspective, Katie. I know we interpret that line, the things I said were done differently, and we talked about that on Rudy's podcast. So if you guys want to hear that conversation, you can go to the Hidden Way pod.
Okay.
Um, so should we do some rapid fire?
I'm so ready. I'm so ready.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
So, Ashley, where are you most different from the lyrics in Showgirl?
I would trade the Cartier for someone to trust. Just kidding. First of all, someone to trust is much more important. And second of all, I don't know what a Cartier is.
Shall I enlighten you?
Sure.
Cartier is a very, very high-end jewelry company. It's French. And it's like world class. Like this is the jewelry of billionaires. Like, and it was also white diamonds and Cartier like jewelry was very important to Elizabeth Taylor, so it's a nod to her.
Oh, okay. I was unaware. Clearly, I'm not a billionaire. What a disappointment.
Wow, Ashley, I did not know that about you. What do you mean? Name the Showgirl song that you sing the loudest when you're driving in the car.
Opalite, 1,000%.
Hmm. Such a good one. Or change the song Eldest Daughter as track 5.
I would change it to honey.
I knew it. I knew it. And why?
I think that honey addresses much more vulnerable things than eldest daughter does, personally.
Ooh, agree to disagree, my dear. But I do agree, honey has a lot of depth to it.
Hmm.
It's not oh, I guess I just answered that question. Which artist would you love for Taylor to collaborate with? Not necessarily on Showgirl, but just in general.
Noah Khan.
He was on my list too.
Nuh-uh. I love him.
Oh, big fan of Noah Khan. His new album.
Yeah, so good.
Shout out. I know we're a Taylor like podcast, but Noah Khan, my word. The man can sing.
Yeah, he's actually playing at Wrigley Field in July, which is where the Cubs play. So I looked into it, but it's on like a weekday, and I was really disappointed.
Oh, that's so sad. Forget all your responsibilities and go.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's just kidding. What song on the Showgirl album would you pick to have a music video that doesn't already have one?
Honey.
Of course. So good. Do you have like a little like theme? Like, could you give us like, I don't know, like a little summary of what your vision for that would be?
I think just I'm not very creative when it comes to like this type of creativity, but like just kind of like playing it out, right? Like there's like somebody in the bathroom with super white teeth and like they're like she's like leaving and they're like whispering to each other like that skirt is way too short. And then she like goes home to Travis and he's all like, "Hey, honey," right?
Okay, so
You
you want
know?
a literal interpretation.
Yeah, that's the only way I can think.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so good. All right, that wraps up all of our rapid fire questions. Love your answers. Listeners, drop your answers in the comments. We'd love to hear that or send us an email. But yeah, Ashley, do you want to wrap us up?
Yes, thank you guys so much for listening. Feel free to share this episode if you have some friends that you feel like are doing a great job at being a good friend. And I want to thank Jeremy for editing this podcast. And thank you, Katie, for doing this with me. If you want to follow us on Instagram, our handle is TheraTay Podcast. And if you want to request a song, you can do that on Instagram, commenting here, or emailing us at therataypodcast@gmail.com.
Catch you at the next episode.